15 look at. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Well, hello everyone out there. Taking a look at Ohio State football in 2015. Next season, the Buckeyes coming off the national championship 14-1 season. And by all accounts, looks like they're going to have about 7 starters back on both sides of the ball. Let's start on offense. Right here. Quarterback. Cardale Jones says he's coming back. J.T. Barrett, he's coming back off his foot injury. And Braxton Miller is at least enrolled in classes right now. What a contingent that would be if it's Jones, Barrett, and Miller. How awesome would that be? Ezekiel Elliott coming off 3 straight 200-yard games. He's back at running back. He's got Curtis Samuel and these guys down here, Warren Ball and Brigante Dunn. We still remember their names. They're still in the fold as well. Okay, I've color-coded this thing so that you can understand the guys in green are no longer going to be part of this team. And, of course, 2 of those guys at wide receiver, Devin Smith and Evan Spencer, gone. In their place, it could be Johnny Dixon, Terry McLaurin, James Clark, some of the younger guys who really didn't get to play a whole lot this season. They need a guy to take the top off the defense like Devin Smith did and get deep. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Evan Spencer, they talked about him as the team MVP for everything he did, blocking, special teams, catching the ball. Looks like Corey Smith really came out at the end of the year is going to be the guy there. Michael Thomas at the other receiver position. The H-back is in great hands with Jalen Marshall, Dontre Wilson. 2 more greens. Here we go. Tight end, Jeff Hireman, gone. Right tackle, Darrell Baldwin, gone. I like Nick Vanette, obviously caught a touchdown in the championship game to take over that position with Marcus Baugh. Kind of lightly used this year. And they're talking about Noah Brown bulking up to play tight end. I think he'd be a good fit there. Right tackle, this is going to be a great battle beginning in the spring. Chase Ferris, he's the veteran, kind of the utility guy, backed up everybody there. And Jamarco Jones, highly touted kid out of Chicago. He redshirted this year. I think he's in the mix. And then you got to like the rest of this. Elflein, Boren, Price, Decker, those 4 guys. Think about how great that offensive line played at the end of the year. They find somebody to replace Baldwin. They're in great shape. And, of course, Sean Nurnberger as the kicker. The Buckeyes average almost 50 points a game. There is no reason to believe if they can find, in my opinion, somebody to get deep and make plays and open things up for Ezekiel Elliott. There's no reason to believe why they're not going to put up big numbers again in 2015. All right, I'm going to slide over to the other side here. You got to love this technology, don't you? We don't have the touch screens and stuff like the people at ESPN. We've got the old dry erase board from 1995. So here we go. Defense. Joey Bosa, the All-American, set a tackles for loss single-season record at Ohio State this year. I think he was 1 sack shy of the record. And, of course, Adolphus Washington, he's back for his senior year. He's going to be one of the leaders on the defense, no question. A couple of green spots. So those are guys who won't be back. It'll be Michael Bennett, who's kind of the heart and soul, and Steve Miller, kind of plugged in at defensive end when Noah Spence was out. I like Donovan Munger. You've got Michael Hill, Tracy Sprinkle, all these guys that have gotten to play, and I neglected to write on here Tommy Shutt. You got to put him in here too. So just imagine in red letters it says Tommy Shutt right there because they're waiting on him to really produce. Steve Miller, gone at defensive end. Tyquan Lewis. Jalen Holmes played a little bit as a true freshman. And Sam Hubbard, he redshirted. Lots of talk about him taking over at defensive end. Go to the linebacker group. How about these guys from right here in Central Ohio? Darren Lee, he took over, did a great job at one spot, and of course Joshua Perry at the other. Green number here, this is Curtis Grant. He's gone, but as we all know, Raekwon McMillan, the red or the blue chip player from Georgia, he filled in, did a nice job at times this year, so he's going to move right in there, we think, at middle linebacker. The secondary situation looks pretty good. You got 3 starters back with Eli Apple, Von Bell, and Tyvis Powell, kind of the guts of the secondary there. You're going to lose Dorian Grant, great senior leader, and we're already hearing great things about how he's testing at some of the senior all-star games. He may get drafted pretty highly. In his place, you're talking about Gary and Conley, Damon Webb, and Marshawn Lattimore. Lattimore was out this year, didn't get to play. He was injured. There's going to be great competition, and you know Kerry Combs is going to find somebody to fill that spot. So, and of course, the punter, Cameron Johnston, we're waiting on him to get the proper accolades accolades he deserves. Ohio State won games in some respect this year because of the way he pinned teams back. So that covers the offense, the defense, Ohio State 2015. Now, the schedule. Come back over here. All right. You'll notice here, 9-7, it doesn't say Monday, it doesn't say Labor Day, but the Buckeyes will be on Monday Night Football, to a degree, on ESPN that night at Virginia Tech. And, the Buckeyes will want revenge. And obviously, Virginia Tech tried to derail Ohio State's hopes last year, and they'll be out for the upset. That is going to be one heck of a game on Labor Day evening in Blacksburg, Virginia. Get your popcorn ready for that. Then you got Hawaii, Northern Illinois, the MAC champion, Western Michigan, boom, boom, boom. Okay, let's get into Big Ten play here. Did you know that under Urban Meyer, this is kind of an interesting stat, under Urban Meyer, they are 24-0 in regular season Big Ten games. Yeah, I know they lost to Michigan State in that championship. No, who cares? Whatever. Okay, so it's at Indiana, Maryland, Penn State, at Rutgers. First time Ohio State will ever play a game at Rutgers will be on October the 24th. They'll take a week off. Then Minnesota, which gave them a great game up there this past year. At Illinois, which went to a bowl for Tim Beckman. And then to me, I think this is where the rubber hits the road. Look at this. In an 8-day stretch, they're going to play Michigan State at home, with Michigan State coming off another 11-win season and a big bowl win over Baylor. And Connor Cook back at quarterback. And then 11-28. I'm not afraid to say it. At Michigan, the team up north, Jim Harbaugh, the new coach there, he's got all kinds of issues there trying to find some people that'll play. And, of course, 12-5, Big Ten championship game. It's their birthright, isn't it? They're Ohio State. They play in that game. Well, if they make it, if they win the East Division, that's where they'll be. Probably playing one of the teams from the West, which could be Wisconsin, could be Nebraska, could be, who knows. That division's wide open. I tell you, Illinois and Purdue probably aren't going to win it, but Northwestern probably not either, so there you go. And playoffs, if they get to the playoffs again, top four, the semifinals next year will be December 31st, not January the 1st. It'll be in the Orange Bowl, Miami, the Cotton Bowl, back where we were just at for the national championship game. If they win that game, then they would play in the national championship game in that big spaceship in the desert, Glendale, Arizona championship. And that'll be January 2016, so we'll have to change that. But that's your overall picture of what's going on with Ohio State football heading into 2015. Hope you enjoyed it.